and welcome to the 𝐏𝐋𝐀𝐘𝐋𝐈𝐒, and this is another video in the series of my bikes really, and today we're going to have a look at a specialised Langster. Now I picked this frame up, well, to give you some background, I've been going to our local velodrome for about 50 years now, and in the last sort of, I don't know, 18 years, been doing a bit of coaching down there. And this frame belonged to one of the nippers who grew out of it. And I was talking with his dad, and they said they wanted to sell the frame. So I picked up the frame at a reasonable price and bought some bits and pieces for it. It was very much a project similar to the hack bike one, and if you've not seen that in the series, you know, yeah, you can find it in the playlist. Where it was built up of bits and pieces really. I try to avoid buying anything. So anyway, we won't ramble on too much. I'll just move you over to the bike and we'll have a walk around, and I'll give you some logic of why I built it like this. Okay, so back in a minute. Okay, so there she is, in the normal position for these videos. It's quite, well, I think it's quite a pretty looking bike. Now what I've done is normal old fixed wheel, so single speed there. It's got some straight handlebars on there. So I think it's got a 66-inch gear, which was always my favoured gear. Now originally the idea of building this bike was for, I didn't have the Bromptons at the time, and it was all I had was racing bikes, and so it was just something just to better go for a little ride with normal shoes on and not have to be a cyclist, you know. Yeah, so that was the idea of it. To be truthful, now I've got the Bromptons, it's sort of become a bit surplus to requirements. So I will disassemble it, I think, and sort of repurpose a lot of the equipment. So let me have a bit of a walk around. Well, you can see the frame. It's I think it's a 2000. I can't remember if it's 2011 or 15. Probably 2011. Yeah. So I've got so we got an old Campag record seat pin in 27.2. I think that came off another track bike I had, so I repurposed that. As are the old 𝐒𝐄𝐃 turbo saddles. Now yeah, you can see the turbos. Many moons ago I had these all on all my bikes, and bit like I have with the Physic really now. So yeah, I found that somewhere and put that on. Now let me just slow you down. The Chainset I think I just bought on eBay. It's cheap and cheerful. They are 165 cranks. I'm not certain whether it's 144 bolt circle diameter for the chain rings. If it is, then I think I will put this on the Brompton Black, because as I've been speaking about in most of my videos, one of the goal is to try and have shorter cranks, so then that helps with my hip. It would help if you had a bad hip, but if you've, even with a replaced hip, it just reduces the range of movement. And I'll do a better explanation on that when I do the next video on the touring Brompton. So these wheels were old track wheels. So these are Campag record hubs. So these are, let me have a look, they're 36 spoke wheel. Yeah, they're both 36s. So I've had those from the 80s, the hubs anyway. So I will use those on my track bike moving forward. because I hope to be able to, once I've had my hip done, ride a bit at the local velodrome. And it's a big asphalt velodrome, so having some more robust tyres is, or wheels and tyres, is probably a good thing. What we've got down here, these are 𝐒𝐄𝐑𝐈𝐄𝐒, or 𝐒𝐄𝐑𝐈𝐄𝐒 track pedals. Now these got titanium spindles. They cost a bomb when I was younger. Fabulous things. I've lost the cap on that side, or on both of them. So I've got a little idea of something I'd like to do in the future. There was these, they're called Sinelli Uniblock cleats, or that fit in the pedal. Let's see if I can get a shot and explain. So I think we can see there, it actually went in between this whole thing and went round there. Now I managed to find, so I got them shipped over from America, a brand new set. Now the problem is they're no good. You couldn't actually fit them to a pair of cycling shoes because the whole pattern for the cleats is different. But I do have a 3D printer, so I think what I'd like to do is try and make a replica of them, but with the different bolt pattern. But if I do it, I'll show you that. So anyway, back to the bike. Now what I did was, so we've got straight handlebars here, and in the UK legally you only need to have one brake if you have a fixed wheel, because you can effectively sort of pedal backwards to form the second brake. But what I did here, and now I've got these old Wyman 500 calipers. Now these are from the 70s, and I've got a rear one. Now the frame already had a drilling for the rear one, but if you note, I've just got one brake lever. Now what this is, let's have a look. It does, one brake lever does both brakes. Now these, so let's have a look, so you can see the name. So these are for 𝐒𝐄𝐑𝐈𝐄𝐒 Polo, I believe. Now I've managed to track one of these down. Now the 500s by Wyman 500 brake calipers by modern standards are pretty rubbish really. But you know, my logic was two pretty rubbish, and the fixed wheel would probably stop me anyway. So but it was yeah, it was quite fun having doing this and setting it up. It was something a bit different, and I quite liked the idea of creating a bike that was a bit unusual. So yeah, so that's the logic of where they came from. Handlebar grips, they were horrible. I hated them, very uncomfortable. Let's have a look around the other side. Oh yeah. What I did was I just had put a single bottle cage on there, and then I had I don't know where the pump is gone. Had a small pump in there, and then in the then I just strapped a spare tube and a 𝐒𝐄𝐑𝐈𝐄𝐒 peanut butter spanner. I think I probably would have had for the 𝐒𝐄𝐑𝐈𝐄𝐒 wheel nuts. So let's see if I can walk back a bit so you get a bit of a shot of it, that side. Yeah, so that's the Specialized Langster. I think I did like these frame. I think they did a smashing job with these sort of oversized tubing. Yeah, so you got an oversized tube here and there, but it still was 27.2 there. So they were nice bikes really, or it is a nice frame. But as I say, I think the wheels that go on to be repurposed for my track bike, if I can ride that again. And the chainset will probably go on the black Brompton, and the pedals we'll just have a bit of an experiment and have a mess around with those, so that should be fun. Yeah, so there she is, the Specialized Langster. So anyway, yeah, I hope that was sort of slightly of interest, and just to see you can make bikes and really just make them a bit different. You know, you don't have to follow follow what everyone else does. So yeah. Okay, so many thanks for watching. Stay happy, strong and healthy. Be adventurous, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheerio.